Nova Scotia, the very name conjures up images of rugged highlands and the sounds of bagpipes, lobster traps and Peggy's Cove. But before the Scottish Highlanders fled here, there were the native Micmac Indians, the British, the French, and Loyalists from the American colonies, all of whom have left an indelible stamp on this province. This is the fortress of Louisbourg, just outside of Sydney, Nova Scotia, built on the Cape Breton coast. It was built to guard the Gulf of St. Lawrence and protect France's dwindling empire in the New World. It was begun in 1720 with stone walls that were 3 meters thick and 9 meters high. It was armed with 148 cannon. The control of Louisbourg went back and forth between the French and English until finally England decided to build its own garrison, Halifax. After the American Revolution, thousands of supporters of the British cause, the United Empire Loyalists, resettled in Nova Scotia. While many of these Loyalists were white Americans of British descent, others were Huguenots, Dutch, Germans, English Quakers, and ex-slaves. And because of Canada's anti-slavery legislation, many blacks sought refuge here before the Civil War. The year was 1783, and the multicultural pattern of Canadian immigration had begun. You will find the image of the Blue Nose on the back of a 10-cent Canadian coin. The original Blue Nose was moored here in Lunenburg, a town that was originally settled by Swiss German and Huguenot pioneers. A legend in her own right, she was queen of the North Atlantic schooner fleet, an undefeated champion of the international schooner fishing trophy races from 1921 to 38. And it is the maritime history that makes the Atlantic provinces amongst the most delightful to visit in Canada. Peggy's Cove is Nova Scotia's #1 tourist attraction. It's a uniquely rugged little fishing community, centered around a narrow ocean inlet and dominated by the famous lighthouse that stands high atop the community on wave-washed granite boulders. Legend has it that the cove got its name from Peggy, the lone survivor of a shipwreck who married one of the local inhabitants. It's an artist's and photographer's mecca. William de Garth, who was born in 1907 in Finland, came to Peggy's Cove in 1926, and during his lifetime carved a living monument to Canadian fishermen out of these granite rocks. En route to Blomenden Lookout, we stopped at Tidal View Farm to witness the natural phenomena of the tidal bore.
The mouth of the Bay of Fundy between Yarmouth and Bar Harbour, Maine is 90 miles across. Between Digby and St. John, it's 45 miles across. And at Cape Split, it's 5 miles across. So you have all this water rushing in into a funnel-shaped bay, and it has nowhere to go but up. The same thing is happening here on this river, and the water is forcing up into a narrower river all the time, you see. And this is what creates a bore. When we first saw it coming around the bend, it was traveling approximately 10 miles an hour.
The bore can be several feet high, and the lives of those who make their living from the sea is dictated by the tides that are amongst the highest in the world, sometimes reaching 15 meters. We traveled from Windsor through the Annapolis Valley, and I was surprised to find that Nova Scotia had vineyards, producing excellent local wines. The Cabot Trail, named for the explorer John Cabot, who in 1497 first sighted land here, is a 187-mile loop that roller coasts its way around the northern part of Cape Breton. Part of the Cabot Trail lies within the Cape Breton Highlands National Park and protects 950 square kilometers of magnificent highland and coastal wilderness between the Gulf of St. Lawrence and the Atlantic. For more information, visit our website on topoftheworld.net.